The ascendants cast a shadow across half the continent of the alien world. At 17 kilometers long and 4 kilometers at its widest point, humanity's first interstellar vessel was less a ship and more a traveling city-state, home to 80,000 souls who had departed Earth 37 years earlier. Its arrival in orbit around Kepler 442b, renamed Nova Terra, in the decades of travel, was humanity's boldest statement. We are here, we have arrived, and we are not leaving. Captain Eliana Reyes stood at the primary observation deck, hands clasped behind her back as she studied the blue-green world below. At 59, she had spent more than half her life aboard this vessel. Like many of the children born during the journey, she had never felt soil beneath her feet or breathed unfiltered air. Final approach vector confirmed, Captain, reported Lieutenant Commander Davies from the navigation station. Will achieve stable orbit in 17 minutes. Eliana nodded. And the local reaction? Communications Officer Chen looked up from her console. Still nothing on conventional frequencies, Captain. But the quantum entanglement detectors are picking up something. It's not a communication pattern we recognize. They're watching us, Eliana said softly. As they should be. The ship's chief xenologist, Dr. Amir Kadar, had joined her on the observation deck. His team had spent the journey studying every scrap of data collected by Earth's telescopes and automated probes. They knew the planet harbored life complex, multicellular life, but the question of intelligence remained unanswered until now. If they possess spacefaring technology, Amir said, they're hiding it well. No artificial satellites, no space stations, no evidence of launches or landings. Which means, Eliana finished his thought, either they're primitive or they're so advanced we can't recognize their technology for what it is. The massive viewscreen shifted to a real-time image of the planet's surface. Sophisticated imaging systems aboard the Ascendants could resolve details down to mere centimeters from orbit. They watched as strange hexagonal structures dotted the coastlines of the primary continent structures, too regular, too precise to be natural formations. There, Amir pointed. Movement. The imaging system zoomed in further, revealing what appeared to be a gathering. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, of entities converging on one of the larger hexagonal structures. The beings moved with fluid grace, their bodies seeming to shift between solid and liquid states. They know we're here, Eliana said, her voice hushed with the weight of the moment. Prepare the ambassador suite. And alert Dr. Patel, I want her translation matrices ready. 3 kilometers below the command deck, in the agricultural ring that provided food for the Ascendants' population, Maya Santiago was tending to her tomato crops when the announcement came through. All citizens, this is your captain speaking. We have achieved stable orbit around Nova Terra and have confirmed the presence of intelligent life. First contact protocols are now in effect. Please remain calm and continue your regular duties. Section representatives will provide updates within the hour. Maya's hands trembled as she carefully harvested a ripe tomato. For 29 years, her entire life, she had lived within the steel and composite walls of this vessel. Like most of her generation, she had been raised on stories of Earth's beauty, its open skies and endless horizons, even as she was taught to embrace her destiny as part of humanity's greatest journey. Can you believe it? Whispered her colleague, Hiroshi. Actual aliens. I wonder what they look like. I wonder if they'll let us land, Maya responded, her gaze drifting upward toward the simulated sky of the agricultural ring. I've always wanted to feel real gravity, not this spinning approximation. Their conversation was interrupted by a low, resonant tone that seemed to emanate not from the ship's communication system, but from the very metal around them. It pulsed with a rhythm that felt both alien and strangely familiar, like a heartbeat slightly out of sync with human physiology. Throughout the massive vessel, 80,000 humans stopped what they were doing. The tone was everywhere, passing through walls and bulkheads as if they didn't exist. In the command center, Captain Reyes gripped the edge of the console. "What the hell is that?" "It's coming from outside the ship," Chen reported, her voice tight with controlled panic. "Some kind of acoustic wave, but it's penetrating our hull like it's not even there." On the view screen, the gathering on the planet's surface had arranged itself into concentric rings. The entities at the center appeared to be vibrating in perfect synchronization, with the tone resonating through the ascendants. "They're communicating," Dr. Patel said, her hands flying across her interface. "This isn't just a greeting, it's a comprehensive mathematical language. The patterns, the harmonics. It's beautiful." For 17 minutes, the tone continued, changing in subtle ways that human ears could barely discern, but the ship's sensors recorded perfectly. When it finally stopped, the silence felt deafening. "Did we get it all?" Eliana asked. Dr. Patel nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Yes, Captain. And I think I understand what they're saying." "Well?" "They're asking why we built something so inefficient." The first landing party consisted of 7 specialists, including Dr. Kedar and Dr. Patel. Captain Reyes had insisted on joining them, despite the objections of her senior staff. "The beings of Nova Terra communicate through vibration," Dr. Patel explained during the final briefing. "Their bodies exist in a state of quantum indeterminacy, simultaneously particle and wave. Our massive ship, with its rigid structure and definite boundaries, is as alien to them as their fluid existence is to us." The shuttle descended through swirling azure clouds toward the primary gathering site. As they approached, they could see the entities more clearly shimmering, translucent forms that flowed together and apart in continuous motion. "They're beautiful," whispered one of the xenobiologists. "They're confused," Dr. Patel corrected. In their latest communication, they asked why we constrained ourselves within death shells that separate us from the universe. As the shuttle settled onto the alien soil, the entities formed a perfect circle around it. The landing party donned their environmental suits a precaution, though preliminary analysis suggested the atmosphere was breathable and prepared for humanity's first steps on an alien world. Captain Reyes insisted on being first. As the airlock cycled and the ramp extended, she took a deep breath within her helmet. 37 years of travel, almost 60 years of her life, all for this moment. Her boot touched the strange, resilient surface of Nova Terra, and the entities around them began to vibrate in unison, creating a harmonic pattern that the translation matrix rendered into words. "The rigid ones have arrived. They build shells within shells to separate themselves from existence. They travel between worlds in a city that defies understanding. They are profoundly alone, each trapped within a permanent boundary." Dr. Patel's voice came through the communication system. "Captain, they don't understand us. They exist as a collective consciousness, their bodies merging and separating at will. The concept of individuality as we know it doesn't exist for them." Eliana Reyes stood still, absorbing this. Above her, the massive bulk of the ascendants was visible even in daylight, a testament to human engineering and determination. Around her, beings that defied human comprehension tried to understand why humans would choose to live as they did. "Tell them," she said finally, "that what they see as our prison, we see as our greatest achievement. Tell them we came in peace, to learn and to share. And tell them." She paused, looking up at the mighty vessel that had carried humanity across the stars. "Tell them we brought tomatoes,